Got it. All right. So I think, we're not going to rehearse keep going over, the problem, the challenges now. I think we all are aware of, COVID-19, and, it's changing the world. It literally made the world have to take a fast shift, um, literally on a dime. And it wasn't just something that impacted one state or a couple states or the United States. It's the entire, not just the country, but the entire world. Um, and so now, the reality is starting to set in because, if you think back before COVID, a lot of people, we had in the wealthiest country in the world, we had financial challenges from the beginning, and the financial challenges we had now are being multiplied and are going to compound even more. Like, for instance, one of the biggest challenges was inflation. And inflation basically is the fact that business owners can control prices. So when they're not making the revenue that they need to do, what do? They increase their prices. And so, we see it at the grocery store. Prime example we used to see all the time is at the gas pump. It used to be a few years ago, gas, and I'm kind of dating myself, when it got to hit $1, you got a gallon. So it was $1 a gallon. They turned together. Now, this is your money. It's $1, it's $2, and then it trips. You just bought a gallon. It's $3, it's $4. You just got another gallon. It's $5, $6, but it's the same 20. It could even be the same car. You're at the same gas station, even at the same pump. But what's changed is the price, the cost of it. So if we don't have a way to increase our income at the same rate that business owners are increasing their prices, there's going to be a huge gap. So you got inflation that we got to overcome. And now, like with COVID, you look at a lot of businesses, restaurants and so forth that's been closed, and how are they going to make up the money? For instance, like take restaurants. Like in January, that restaurant maybe could seat about 100 people. Now, because of social distancing, they can only seat 50, but their overhead is still the same. Like their rent or their mortgage or whatever on their building is still the same. Their utilities, their water, their supplies are still the same, but yet the amount of people that they can serve is cut in half. So what's going to happen? The restaurant's going to have to raise their prices. Plus, that's why we're seeing unemployment, because it's coming off of the top with raising prices, but what helps them on the bottom is cutting, their labor staff, which is why we're seeing such a large increase in unemployment. You got inflation, you got basically now taxes are getting ready to go up because the stimulus checks that were sent out, that wasn't free money. And I don't think people understand or are aware of the IRS and the Federal Reserve have a checkbook, just like, all of us have an account. We got a checkbook. So what they did, they wrote a check for all these, $2.3 trillion in stimulus checks that went out, and that put their account in the red. Well, who do you think is going to shoulder the responsibility of bringing that account from the red? In business, they call it Black Friday. Well, what do you think is going to happen? Or how is it the companies are going to get back, or the IRS rather, is going to get back from the red to the black? Well, they're going to have to increase taxes. So who's going to end up paying that? The American workers. So you got inflation, taxes are going to go up, which now what's going to happen is when we go to make purchases, we're going to make purchases because very few people carry cash now. We're going to use one of two cards, either a debit card or a credit card. Well, if taxes are going up, inflation, meaning prices are going up, if our paycheck is flat, most people are going to have to use their credit card just for bare necessities. And we all know that, debt is called a curse because it keeps you in bondage. Like if you think about any particular area of your life you do not own, it makes you bound to it. The Bible even says that you're a slave to the lender, right? So those are things, and it's principles that we live by. Inflation's going up, taxes going up, which means debt's going up. But then the other impact that we've had is with big business. Big business and capitalism used to cause us to always spend. Like every single month every single month in the year, there's something that big business can capitalize on. some type of holiday. You look at, we're in September now, we just had what? Labor Day. Next month is October, you got Halloween. November is Thanksgiving, but now you got Brown Thursday where the stores are opening at 5 or 6 on Thanksgiving Day. You got Black Friday, you got Cyber Monday, and then they came up with Tech Tuesday to get us to spend. Of course, Christmas is, in December, and you got New Year's Eve. Well, January is New Year's Day. Gotta celebrate the new year coming in. February is Valentine's Day. March is spring break. April is Easter. May is Mother's Day. June is Father's Day. 4th of July. August is back to school. And then we start all over again in September. That's how companies used to get us with spending as consumers. Well, now, big business is on the front end driving prices up with inflation. Also in the middle or on the back end, cutting employment, putting people in, which is what's contributing to the rising cost of unemployment. But then also big business is what your stock market is tied to, the performance and the revenue of big business, which is where our 401ks lie. That's why you're seeing a huge dip in people's 401k, because big businesses are no longer profitable. So you take people who are within 1 to 5 years of retiring. Lady I know personally, she was sharing with me that her mom lost $120,000 in 2 weeks because revenue just sank. Question is, number one, how long did it take her to accumulate that $120,000? Question number two is, how long will it take her to make up that $120,000? And question number three is, does she have that amount? Does she have that much time left to regain 120? And that's just back to break back even with what she lost. That's not gaining, getting on top of that. So those are the 4 financial challenges that we all have. Now that we know that, there's a game that's being played in capitalism. It's called a money game. The thing is, we're not taught this in school. We do trial and error. We have to figure it out. And here's how we figure it out. We work a job, pay the highest in taxes, which makes us get in debt. We are trying to fight inflation, meaning we'll work 2 and 3 jobs and still never have enough to make ends meet, still live paycheck to paycheck in the wealthiest country in the world. How do we break that cycle? Again, you will never learn this in a finance class. You won't see this in economics 101. But it's information that we use and that we need to know on a daily basis. If we're gonna, and I'm not just gonna say survive, but if we are going to be profitable and prosper in an economy that takes advantage of people who don't know certain information, who don't know certain strategies, if we don't know that, then honestly, we'll never experience financial success, right? So, and I'm gonna give you opportunity. So, like I said, this is gonna be a conversation. I don't want to do all the talking, right? So I'm gonna share my screen now. Those are the 4 challenges. So now that we know what the challenges are, let's talk about solutions. Now, the reason that we're here is because the biggest solution right now in this economy that solves or puts you in ahead of the 4 challenges is simple. Basically a home-based business. Now, why a home-based business? We already agreed that business owners control prices. So when the price of gas go up, you got a trucking company, what does the trucking company do? They increase the price to ship the freight to absorb that cost. And they pass it on to whomever the consumer is. Problem is, we've only been taught how to be consumers. So we haven't been taught to have a business. So when inflation hits, when high taxes hit, oh, okay, well, now that I have a home-based business, here's how it offsets that. Number one, having a home-based business allows you to do this. One, when inflation hits, you're able to work and generate unlimited income from your home-based business to offset inflation. All right. So here's an easier way to think about it. Inflation is normally the rate of inflation is about 4%, 4 to 6% a year. So if things are constantly going up 4 to 6% a year, you take Netflix. Netflix started at like $4.99. Then they added another $1, made it $5.99. Then it was another $2, made it $6.99. Now you're like $11.99. We're not gonna balk at that because it's only a couple dollars, right? But when you take that increase and spread it across everything that we do, here's how the home-based business helps. Oh, cost over here is going up, my cost of living. If we're not able to get a pay raise of 4 to 6% every single year, that gap is going to get wider. Having a home-based business allows us to bring in more income to close that gap. Second way a home-based business helps. When taxes go up, right? When we have a job, we automatically pay the highest in taxes as being an employee, a worker. However, when you have a home-based business, the IRS says, oh, you got a business, so take more of the money from your job to use to grow your business, because hopefully you can grow it to the point where you'll have 5 to 10 employees, and the government will get the taxes off of the employees and give you, Mr. Business Owner, tax breaks. Let me explain. The government will give you an incentive for anything they want you to do. So if you think about if you're a single person versus a married couple, the married couple gets a higher tax break. Right? You have a couple with no children, couple with children, the family with the children gets the higher tax break because the government is trying to encourage people to get married and have families. You have a person who rents and they can live on the exact same street beside each other. You know, I'm paying $1,000, Riedel, you paying $1,000, but you buying your house. Who gets the tax break? The homeowner, not the renter, even though we can be living in like the exact same floor plan and everything, because the government is trying to incentivize and encourage the people to be homeowners. Why? Because when things break, you're going to spend money in the economy to fix and take care of the upkeep and the maintenance, right? You buy a car. If I buy a car that's just, you know, a regular car, Riedel, you buy a car that's a hybrid, that's energy efficient, you get a tax break. In the housing situation, if you get appliances that are, you know, star energy efficient, make upgrades that improve the solar carbon footprint, like the solar panels and so forth, those are all incentives that the government gives you because they're encouraging you to be environmentally friendly. Well, newsflash, if employees as a worker, if I only get 6 tax deductions, and Felicia, if you get, as a business owner, 475 tax deductions, what is the IRS really saying? Everybody should own a business. Because again, they give us tax breaks for the things they want us to do. Now, I know there are a lot of businesses that are challenged right now financially and economically in this time. All businesses aren't losing. So you think about, like, man, so Riedel, if you and I had a company that was making hand sanitizer last year and we still had this business going on now, would you say we were winning?
Exactly.
All day long, right? So Teresa, if you were had back in the day and when they offered in high school home economics, and you like sewing, and you had you a sewing machine that's sitting off in the top of the closet, and you knew how to sew, and you dusted that bad boy off and started making some masks, would you say that you're in a position now to win?
Most definitely.
All day long. So here's the thing to remember. In times of chaos and economic conditions like this, whoever can provide solutions win. That's why we're here tonight. We provide the solution to the #1 problem in America, and that's the lack of financial education. What we teach people is the power of having a home-based business, because a home-based business helps with inflation, home-based business helps with taxes, and more so, home-based business is the safest place to be right now, because we're trying to fight a virus or bacteria. We don't know what it looks like, what it smells like, or any visible identification. But yeah, we know people are being diagnosed with it, and unfortunately, people are losing their life in a pandemic. So being home is safe. Everybody's home now. People are more open now to having a home-based business to figure out, how can I make money from home? If you think about, like, back when 9/11, the housing market crash of 2008. And even now, people are a lot more open, you know, when things were happening, they're caught in a position financially not prepared. What do? They start looking at, because here's what we've been taught. Maybe I need to go back to school and get another degree or learn another skill or learn another trade so that it'll put me in a position to help earn more money. Well, what we do is we provide financial education, teach people the power of a home-based business to help them get in a position to have more money. And we do that. We're really good at helping people expand their cash flow through financial strategies, and then also helping people increase their income. So I'm gonna share my slide real quick. Any questions anybody have so far? Riedel, Felicia, questions? We all good?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let's see if it'll let me screen share. And a lot of this, I mean, we've already covered, so I'm gonna go through this relatively quick. Y'all able to see my screen?
Yeah, it's just blank right now.
It's blank?
Yeah, there we go.
All right, cool. All right, so we talked about the 4 challenges, right? We talked about all companies aren't losing. Like if you think about on the rise, Amazon, on the rise, Uber Eats, people not going out to eat anymore. Like Zoom right now. Zoom, I think, and this was a few months ago, Zoom's value was like about $48 billion. Kind of going back to what I was saying, Riedel, like if we were making hand sanitizer, we didn't see this coming, but we were in position for it. So the company that we partner with is MWR Financial, and MWR Financial is providing financial solutions. Here's the financial solutions that we provide. I just explained, we educate people on the power of having a home-based business and why it's important to start one. Here's the biggest thing from a tax standpoint. Like everybody now is either using your cell phone or a computer or some type of device. If you're using a computer, it has internet, right? Or if you're on your phone, you're gonna have your phone anyway. But because we're using it for business, now the things that you were gonna do anyway just became a tax deduction. Now, I don't know if a lot of times, you know, when we hear tax breaks or tax write-offs, what does that mean? It's like this. In America, you will pay taxes based on how you make your money. If you make your money from a job, you get taxed first. You got gross, then taxes come out, and what makes it home is the net. So when we have a job, taxes come off the top. Well, when you have a business, you make your money, then you can spend your money, then you pay taxes on whatever's left. It totally flips the rules. Now, in this business, we show people how in a pandemic and from home, how to earn anywhere from $5,000 to $1,000 a day. So let's put it in perspective. $5 a day times 30 days in a month, that's $150. So $1,000 a day times 30 days in a month, that's $30,000. How? By simply explaining or exposing them to conversations like this. All Riedel did was reached out to a few people and said, hey, we're having a cash flow conversation. If you're free and would like to be a part of it, we're gonna be talking about financial strategies that can help everybody get in a better financial position. As a result of that, the company pays daily pay just for exposing people to this information. Notice, Riedel is not doing any of the education at all. He just exposed people to an opportunity to hear how to improve our finances. And as a result, the company pays anywhere from $5,000 to $1,000 a day. Here's screenshots, $20 a day, $200 a day, $500 a day. I'm gonna go through these slides really, really quickly. Here's some snapshots of people who are making $20 a day. That's $600 a month. Let me explain how that works. Every day around, as you see the screenshot, every day around 5:02 Eastern Standard Time, there's a text that comes in to say, okay, you earn $5, $20, $30, $50, $100, $150, $200, $300, $500, or $1,000 a day, just for exposing people to education. Now, you got people here. Now, here's the thing. $600 a month. Now picture this. If you lay, and you tell me, if you can lay in bed a full 30 days, working, and your source of income is from your job, how much money would you get if you didn't show up at work? This is non-wage income, meaning it's residual income. I knew some people who knew some people who knew some people who all wanted to improve their financial situation. It's $20 a day, $30 a day. That's $900 a month. $50 a day. That's $1,500 a month. $50 a day. Now, this is, so this is just for the average, for everyday person. I don't know if y'all, most of you may not recognize him by face. On the left, Kier Junior Spates, but that's Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show. When the pandemic hit, he was like, as an entertainer, he lost $250,000. He said, but one thing that Steve Harvey always talked to him about was, if all your checks are being cut into you in your name, that's a problem. That means you're doing all the work. So he partnered with MWR, and now he's at, and this slide is actually old. You got $100 a day times 30 days. That's $3,000 a month. $150. That's $4,500 a month. Now, we talked about, I'm gonna skip through a few of these slides. Now, we talked about, well, what is your role? So you talked about the business and the education, but what do I do? You said it about having a business. Now, what do I do? It's simple. I just outlined it. Your role is to do what I've done, what Teresa's done, what Riedel has done. And all we do is reach out to people and expose them and invite them to conversations just like this. You notice? They're not facilitating the conversation. So your role is, all you do is expose. Our role, the Extra Digit Movement, and the name came about, the founder, Brian Bean, figured out, earlier on, when he was 22, he was able to retire from sales. And so he came up, but he lost a lot of his money because he lost a whole $1 million that he made in his early 20s because he didn't understand strategies to help him keep more of his money. So he founded Extra Digit Movement. And what we do is we show people how to add an extra digit to your net worth. So if you're making bringing home 3 figures every 2 weeks, we'll help you bring home 4. If you bring home 4 figures a month, we can add in an extra digit and help you bring home 5. We just saw on the previous screen, people making, $150 a day? That's $4,500 a month. That's more than some people make working a job with a degree, all done from home. So again, your role, all we do is expose. We expose people in Extra Digit Movement. Myself, our team of educators facilitate these conversations all the time, all across this country. And then MWR, which stands for Make Wealth Real Financial, does the execution of the hard part. Now, what is the hard part? They actually help people with the finances. So here's how it works. Wealthy people have a team of experts. Well, let me back up. We all have 4 parts of our financial life. Wealthy people have figured out how to have a team of experts to help them with theirs. And here are those 4 core areas of our financial life. Number 1, tax minimization or tax management. Number 2, credit management. Number 3, debt management. And number 4 is wealth management. See, wealthy people figured out, I don't have to be the smartest. I don't have to be the expert. As long as I hire or surround myself with experts in those areas, I win. That's what we're doing. We help people arm themselves with experts and work directly with the experts of MWR Financial to help with those 4 areas: tax management, debt management, credit management, and wealth management. Now, everybody understands the concept of McDonald's and franchise. McDonald's specializes in burgers, fries, shakes, and apple pies. Well, shakes when the shake machine or the ice cream machine is working, which around our part is about 10%, right? So everybody understands that particular model of franchise. Well, what we do is we show people how to start their own start their own financial education franchise. Remember, tax management, debt management, credit management and wealth management. Here's what MWR's Financial Edge membership does. It offers Money Max, where you're working directly with tax experts who are certified agents, and they're certified. The highest level of certification is an enrolled agent. So they're enrolled agents who do the tax reduction strategies for you. So here's how that looks. Most people have a job. The IRS says that people who work a job, the form, the W-4, that paper that you filled out with the number of exemptions, we told either put 1 or 0 so you don't owe. The IRS says that 83% of working Americans have that form filled out wrong. What does that mean? We're bringing home a smaller paycheck than what we're supposed to. That's where we start, fixing that tax issue and help you minimize the amount of taxes, the correct amount of taxes that's supposed to come out of your paycheck. That's Money Max with the tax experts. Second one is Credit Max. Credit Max is simple. Just simply upload your 3 credit reports, and we show you where it is in a back office portal, and the experts with Credit Max will go through and start actually working on your credit to get it in the best shape possible. It helps you rebuild your credit, not repair your credit. It rebuilds and restores your credit. And they do all of the work. They do the letters. They do the tracking. All we do is upload the 3 reports. Then you've got to help with debt management is the Equity Max. Equity Max is simple. You just type in all of your debts, who you owe, the monthly payment, the payoff, the interest rate, and what it does, it'll do an analysis and send it back to you to say, okay, if you continue to pay your bills the way they want you to pay them, you will be in debt for this number of years and months. Don't believe me, your creditor's got a plan for you? Take your credit card statement and look at it. It will say, if you continue to make the minimum payment, it will tell you, I had a wake-up call. I will be very vulnerable in this. I had a wake-up call when I looked at one of our credit card statements. It said that we will be paying that for 33 years. Minimum payment. 33 years. And pay back twice as much as the limit was on the card. I said, oh no. That's when I really buckled. I told my wife, we buckled up our seatbelts. It's like, all right, it's time for us to get serious and focus on that. But now it's not just a wish. The Equity Max experts are helping us with an executable plan. And so it tell us what order to pay them. After you pay this, take that money and then snowball it. But it started with Money Max, because with the extra money that we were getting back from Money Max, now we can take that money and apply it to the debt and get out of debt quicker without having to work extra hours, without waiting for a pay raise, which, newsflash, companies are trying to minimize their expenses. So employees, we probably won't get a pay raise for probably the next 5 years before our companies are able in a position to actually give us a pay raise. Equity Max also includes, so you got the debt elimination software, and it gives you a monthly date, and it'll show you staying on that plan. It'll take you, this number of years. According to our plan, paying the same bills, just shifting the system of how you pay it, it'll cut it in record time. And then you got, and also in Wealth Max is a new industry that just started called Bill Shredder. What Bill Shredder does is it looks at your, you upload like your cable bill, your utility bill, your security, your alarm bill, water if you have that, cell phone, and they'll negotiate for you. And it doesn't mean that they change your plan, that you either stay on the same plan that you're on. Some cases you even get a better plan, but they're able to cut the cost of your bill. See, that saves you money. That's more money in your pocket, which expands and increases your cash flow. Then the last one is Wealth Max. Wealth Max, you're working directly, that's consultation, where you're sitting down with people and they're looking at your entire financial portfolio. And they help people with 2 particular areas. One is a private reserve account, which is the tool that wealthy people use to build and protect their wealth. They don't put their money in the 401k that goes up and down with the stock market. They put it in a private reserve account that continues to rise even when the stock market takes a nosedive. Then you have in addition to the private reserve account, then they also have the concept of land banking. Land banking is this: by going in collectively as a group, buying land in the path of growth. Yes, God created all land, but all land is not created equal. I give it for example. I think most of us are familiar with like the country, out in, Edgecombe, Nash County, right? Where you got cornfields and all of that. Now I can promise you, buying 10 acres of a farm is going to be way different than trying to buy 10 acres downtown LA. See, God created all land, but all land ain't created equal. So what WealthMax is with land banking is pooling resources and buying land at wholesale that's in a path of growth. And then when that land is now desirable from big businesses, they want to come in like a Walmart, want to come in and build. Now you can say, hey, I own part of that. I got a deed. I own a parcel of that land. Then you got to pay me, right? So the thing is, we didn't know that things like that existed because, again, it's strategies that were never taught in schools. Now, on here with the 4 basics, now I'll go ahead and tell you this. With the 4 basics and setting up a business, it's a one-time $228, one time, and it's $119 a month. That's $4 a day. Well, if you got groups of experts in 4 different areas, that basically boils down to $1 per expert group, $1 a day per expert group. Now, here's the key thing. That $228 is recoupable by MoneyMax. Because with MoneyMax, once you send in your W-4 or you're sending your last 2 pay stubs, they go through and do the review. They send back the W-4. We've seen people who've earned anywhere from $300 to $800 on average. I personally know people who've gotten back in their paycheck from correcting that error $1,200 a month. That's an extra $14,000 a year from fixing paperwork. Now, let me ask you this. If you invested $228 and got a return of $1,200, is it worth it? I'm saying ahead now. Is it worth it? Would you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you did a one-time $228 and you got $300 back every single month, is it worth it?
Can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong. And then the 119, you're getting that back. But the biggest thing is it's all tax deductions because it's a business. So what better way, remember I said people look for education to increase their income. Well, what better way to have education that provides you with a business that is able to provide you with additional income and help our family and friends get in a better financial position too, if we choose to share it. Now, let me go through some of these testimonies real quick. So included with that, remember, let me go back here. Included with us is the software, let's see, that one. Included is the software tax bot. Here is one of the most important things that business owners don't do. And they don't like doing for whatever reason, or they don't know the power of doing that. And that is the power of record keeping. So included with the business, the 228 and the 119, included with that is your record keeping software is tax bot. IRS compliant. And it basically, you download it to your phone, it runs in the background. So when it detects movement, it'll pull up and it'll track the miles and it'll ask you, is this for business or is this personal? You swipe one way or the other. Then you have it linked to your account where when you're doing expenses, like your phone bill, is it business or personal? So now on the person on the left, they have $17,000 in deductions that they were using for their business, but they were their bills they were going to pay anyway. It was miles they were going to drive anyway. It was meals that they were going to eat out anyway. It was entertainment and travel that they were going to do anyway. They just learned how to shift that through about opening a home-based business and shifted and made it a business expense that can be written off on the taxes. Now, remember I talked about MoneyMax, and I'm going to speed up for time's sake. Remember I talked about MoneyMax. Here, Ursula was able to get back $455 in her paycheck because the MoneyMax experts corrected her W-4, sent that back to her. She turned it into her employer, and on her next paycheck, it was an extra $455 a month. So she did the 228, got back $455. And she's getting $455 every single month, and that's without sharing the business with anybody or without exposing it to anybody. Here's a big one here. On the right, on the other side of the screen, you see here before what was coming out of his taxes was $1,100, almost $1,200 a month. After the Money Max experts completed his W-4, sent it back to him, now his federal taxes dropped from $1,200 to $325. That's a difference of $860 something a month. Times 12, that's $10,000 extra in his paycheck just because he fixed the error. Talked about TaxBot. Let me move this back over. So here's extra $500. Again, going back to the, let's see, credit score. So we're looking at the credit piece of it. The Equity Max, the Credit Max, where you upload your reports. Here's testimonies about people's scores increasing. Jessica Schufer out of Montgomery, Alabama. Her credit score started from, what's that, a 6? Let me bring it back down a little bit. It started from a 640. Cool. So hers started at 649. The Credit Max experts were able to help her get to a 788. And that also includes your spouse. So her spouse's point score rose by 132 points. But it's not for people with bad credit. As you can see on the other side, Chuck Harden was like, he did it just to see. He started at 805. He's like, give me all my points. It got him to an 812. All I'm saying is, when you have experts who help you in the areas of our financial life that we may not have known about otherwise. So here's we call her the granddaughter of the organization. As you can see, her credit was compromised. She's like 19, may have had a birthday. She's maybe 20 now. She started at 356, went from a 356 to a 501 to a 763 in a matter of 4 months, and she's holding the keys to her very own car that she was able to get without having to have a cosigner. So the credit strategies works. Here's another one, Bert Sims. Bert started at an 834. Bert's at an 845 now. And then as you see over on the other side, Miss Perfect is what we call her. Melissa Jackson had an 850. So again, it's not just for people who have less than perfect credit. Now, this is a screenshot. The only one I'm gonna go through, remember I talked with the Equity Max, the debt elimination software. Here it showed that Miss Charlotte would be in debt for 111 years and 8 months. According to the Equity Max plan, it said, no, you won't. It mapped out a plan where Charlotte would be debt-free in 2 years and 6 months. But the biggest thing is, look at the amount, the difference. If she stayed consistent with paying her regular minimum bill, she would pay $525,000 in interest versus the Equity Max plan of only 11. She's saving over $500,000. See, that's the key that I think we miss. If we do the math, from the time we started working over the next 20, 30, really like 40 years, we will all make at least $1 million. The question is, where will it go and what will we have to show for it? Did we make $1 million and lose $1 million, or did we make $1 million and learn how to grow and protect it through strategies and end up with $2 million? Let's see, still credit, Bill Shredder. Teresa, did I see correctly? So Shelby, did I remember correctly when you had recently something with Bill Shredder?
I had 2 things with Bill Shredder that they saved me money with. My family's cell phone plan, all 5 of us saved over $300 and something on our cell phones. That's for the whole year. So that's about $30-something per month that we were able to save. And also my internet, which for the highest plan that we have here, I was paying $56 for it. Now I'm paying $36 per month for it. So they've saved me on both of those bills.
So 50 on one and 20 on another. That's like $70 a month that you're saving.
Yep. Yes.
So now we look at 70 times 12, that's $840. So you just freed up an extra $50, $70 a month that you can pay, add that to paying off debt or paying off or adding to your investments or paying off credit because through a strategy to keep more of your own money.
And keep the same services.
Yep, keep the same services. Perfect. All right, let me get out of here. Let's see. With the traditional banking, with the private reserve accounts we talked about. Now, with the land banking, that concept, Warren Buffett has invested in about $2 billion over in the next path of land in the path of growth is over in Antelope, California. But Warren Buffett has already invested about $2 billion in his green energy solar company that he's putting there. NASA is, and the armed forces are bringing about 6,000 jobs there. So the Olympics will be there in 2028. So if you have all of this going on, if Warren Buffett, now I've heard a lot of people say, and one of the famous quotes is, not show me the money, but follow the money. If Warren Buffett is investing in Antelope Valley, California, if you had an opportunity to buy land there in Antelope, California, would you? All day. So here's what WealthMax is able to do, where we'll buy parcels and deeds of land through a consultation. So you see here, Dawn and Ruth are there with their plaque, with their deed and so forth. Now, you got Mamie with her deed. I'm gonna get to the money. Now, I've talked about the services. I've talked about what MWR, I've talked about the roles. I've shot a lot of information at us quickly. Any questions on how the services work, like with the WealthMax, with wealth management, the Equity Max with debt management, the Credit Max with credit management, and then Money Max with tax management strategies? Does anybody have any questions on any of the information regarding the 4 pillars and the services that we talked about? Either y'all are shy or I did a really good job on explaining it. All right, so let's talk about the money man and get out of here. So MWR says, look, they realize that word of mouth now is the, and the thing is, we all do it. If you think about it, man, Riedel asked me, because Riedel play bass, CD, what's a good bass to get? I tell Riedel, go get ABC, get you a Ken Smith, right? Riedel go get him a Ken Smith. Who actually promoted and closed that sale? I did. Did I make any money off of that sale? I made zero, even though I made that recommendation. So we all do it. But the company says, because word of mouth, now the company will pay us up to 10 different ways for sharing this information. Now, there are 3 ways that you can get that 228 can be covered. First, I'm gonna go through these really quickly. The Form W-4, remember I said when you submit that to the Money Max experts, they send it back to you. So that 228, if yours come back, like in Ursula's case where she was getting an extra 450, 455, that W-4 covered her 228 twice, and it's covering her 119, right? Second way to cover it is with 3 Financial Edge memberships, meaning a person says, I don't want to do the business, I'm not necessarily wanting to build business and get paid every single day with bonuses that we'll talk about here in a second. But I want to do, I do see how it can benefit me just to work on my finances. Well, if you expose this information and 3 people say, I only want the membership is $79 a month. So you have 3 people who only want to do the membership, and your $79, your membership is waived. Your $79 is waived. That's another way to cover it. The third way to cover it is if you partner with 3 people who say, yeah, I want all in, I see the tax advantages, also doing this as a business and working and helping my finances, and the company will pay me to help me, and so I can use that money to help get out of debt faster. 3 people who partner as a business partner equals $150 a month in residual. That $150 covers your 119. Those are all ways to self-fund your business. You don't look at free, but have your business self-funded. All right, now, There are 10 ways that we get paid. I'm going to go through about 4 of them. 4 of like the key ones that 4 of the key ones that are important to understand up front. One is what's called the momentum bonus. And I'll say this 3 times 3 times 3. Here's how it works. The way the momentum bonus works is this. You partner with 3 people, and those 3, they enroll in your first 30 days. The company will pay you $50 for each person, but the company also pays you an extra $150 because you enroll 3 in your first 30 days. That's what that momentum bonus is here. Then if you help those 3 do what we're doing right now, expose other people, their family and friends, and 3 people enroll, and you help those 3 get their 3, so you got 9 now, and that happens in your first 60 days, company pays you an extra $450. Then we help those 9 each get 3, and that happens within the first 90 days, the company pays you an additional $900. So that's a total of $1,500. As you can see here, this is a screenshot of the founder of Extra Digit Movement of his back office. And as you can see here, he qualified for the $900 momentum bonus, meaning first 30 days, he got 3. Within his first 60 days, he helped those 3 get 3. And then within his first 90 days, he helped those each get 3. And the company paid $900. That's $1,500 in just momentum bonus. Remember I said that the company pays you when a person sponsors or enrolls as a business owner, the company will pay you $50 per person who you sponsor. Here, the founder enrolled Robert. Company paid him $50. He enrolled Samuel, company paid him $50. He enrolled Christina, company paid him $50. But there's also something additional here called the expansion bonus. The expansion bonus works like this. As you enroll people and as they talk to other people and enroll people, and your team starts to grow, then the company will pay you leadership expansion bonuses that are anywhere from $10 a month. I'm sorry, $10 per person. We jumped here. It pays you anywhere from $10 a person to $75 a person. Let me get back to that slide. One up right there. So it'll pay you anywhere from an additional $10 to $75 per person. So it'll always pay you a base $50, right? So here he enrolled Jennifer, he enrolled Robert. So here he enrolled Robert. Well, because of his team organization, he made an extra $65, so he was paid $115. But here's the beauty of leverage. Here where it says the expansion bonus for Quentin, he didn't know Quentin. Here where it says the expansion bonus for Jennifer, he didn't know Jennifer. But due to leverage, the company paid him, and I'm gonna stop before we all get seasick. The company paid him an additional, for the expansion bonus, an additional $65. Another way we get paid is through a check match. Check match is this. The people I personally sponsor, as they earn income, the company pays me a 25% check match, again, through leverage. So here, the consultant was Christy. Brian earned $61.25, which was 25% of what Christy had made. So putting some numbers to it. So if I'm earning a check match and Redale and I are collaborating, we working together. And if Redale makes $100, I'll make a 25% check match. So that's $25. Not bad. If Redale say made $1,000, I would earn a 25% check match. That's $250. So do you think I would have a vested interest in Redale's success? Because the better he does, the more that I'm able to help support him, and the better he does in growing his organization, do you think I would be Redale's cheerleader, like go Redale, go? Absolutely. So we got the check match. Then next we got, again, we talked about the expansion bonus, and here's a ledger of what Brian's actual, when he started back in November, less than a year ago, his first check was $28. People laughed at him, like, man, what is he doing? You know, you got somebody that he's supposed to be this great trainer, retired from all this stuff, and he done jumped and started working with this other company. They paid him $28. He said the first check was a reality check. What it does is it shows, hey, the company pays. So as you can see here, that check went from 28 to 38. Next, 473, 330. But this is a day. The 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. $935. These are daily checks. $1,300 in a day. Here's the thing. You can't stop another person's excitement. Do you think somebody would be excited if their credit scores are going up? Yeah. Do you think people would be excited if they have a plan now where they can bring their debt down? Yes. Do you think people would be excited and would tell some other people if they were able to send their last 2 pay stubs to a group of experts who looked through it and did an analysis and sent it back, but like, you know what, your pay stub, your exemptions, that is wrong. We fixed it, send it back to you, turn this into your HR department, and you see an extra $450 a month, $600 a month. Do you think people will get excited about that and tell other people? Absolutely. That's what happened here. You can't stop another person's momentum. You can't stop another person's excitement. And when momentum builds, you can't stop momentum. So another way that the company pays us is through a luxury vehicle and mortgage bonus. It's in tiers, and the tiers are based off of the size of your team. Like as people are enrolling and doing either as a customer or people are enrolling as a business partner, each person has points. A customer is 2 points. Business partner is an additional 3, and guess what? All of us are customers. So we have 5 points. As your organization grows, you'll hit the first level, which is $500. Second level is $1,250. Third level is $3,000 a month. You do not have to spend it on a car. They will put that money on your e-wallet. So what we say is, hey, if the car you have is decent, you can use that money to pay it off. Or if you don't have a note, then you can use that money to start investing. Or if you want, yeah, you can start, go and buy your car. So here are people who are getting paid on the 10th, the car bonus. First level, $500. Again, we got slides for days. People making $500. Next level, that's $500. Next level is $1,250. Next level, the top tier is $3,000. Now, Charles said, you know what? I want to go and I want to do something with mine. So Charles went to the lot, bought him it was for his birthday, bought him a 2020 GMC double cab Sierra. He said that $3,000 is enough to pay for the note, enough to pay for the insurance and all the gas, but he didn't have to buy a car. You can if you choose to. Christy, Cashflow Christy is at $3,000. Here's the founder of Extra Digit Movement, Brian Bean. He's got 7 cars. He likes vintage cars. He's got 7, 4 classics and 3 daily drivers that he uses. He has the notes to all of them, but he still gets the $3,000. Now, we talked about the daily pay. We've talked about the luxury bonus, the car bonus. The next one is the presidential bonus. Presidential bonus, again, is based on, as you can see here, points. What we've identified is that sweet spot is about a team of 50 people. About 50 people who are serious and really want to take advantage and get in a better financial position. And that 50 people is the first level of the presidential bonus. That's an extra $500. And as you see, that goes all the way to $100,000. Now let's look at it. $500 from the car bonus, $500 from the presidential bonus, that's $1,000. And having a team of 50, you're getting paid right at about $30 a day, which is $900. $900 a month, $500 from the presidential, $500 from the luxury car bonus. That's right at $2,000 a month. That's guaranteed coming in. That's not driven by me getting up and going to work. That's a totally different landscape. That's a totally different lifestyle. See, a lot of it, we've been taught to brag off of the money that we make from working. Well, guess what? If I provide a service, I'm supposed to get paid. If I'm a surgeon making $100,000 a year, I'm supposed to. I went to school to do that. Wealthy people have pride in the money that they make that they don't have to work for, like their investment portfolio, like their business profits. So it totally changed the landscape of the game. Then you've got, so here are people here that's making the presidential bonus, 500. Now, the guy that I showed you a few minutes ago here, Charles Ivory, who went and bought his truck, well, here's his other half, Miss Judith Ivory, she's also one of the partners, and she's getting an extra $500 from the presidential bonus. Quanah Sims is currently at level 2, which is 1,000. Shayna is at 1,000. Here's Charles again at 2,500. Cashflow Christie at 2,500 on the presidential bonus. Brian Bean at $10,000 a month. Now, here we call them the first ladies of our organization. They are the first $1 million ring earners in the entire company, females, from our organization, through our mentorship, through our partnership, through our collaboration. What that means is they make a minimum of $8,250 a month. That's 6 figures, that's $100,000 a year. In order for you to be able to make that from your investments or bank account, you would have to have $1 million earning 8% a month to make what they make from just helping people improve their finances. All right, then we got the $1 million ring earners here, Charles Ivory, and of course, Brian Bean. Now, let me come off screen share so I can see y'all. Yeah, I've shot a lot of information about the structure, what the business is, helping people understand finance and improve their finances. Then we talked about the money, how the company actually pays. Now, what questions do you have? Now,
I don't really have
it right. Felicia. Is it Felicia? We there? It's Felicia?
Yeah. And
Okay.
Felicia.
Felicia. All right, so any questions? I mean, you can type them in the chat.
All right.
I see there are a few things in the chat.
She says she's here.
Okay, cool. All right, so look, at the end of this conversation, it's like this. There are 3 decisions to be made, or 3 possible decisions that can be made. Decision number 1, or the third decision is good information. I don't think it's for me. My cash flow, my strategy that I'm currently using now, I'm good with. If you're number 3, making a third decision, saying, you know what, this is good. Here's what we ask. We have these conversations all the time. So get back with the person who invited you and let them know. I'm pretty sure there are people that you know in your circle who literally are praying to come into contact and come into contact with this information. All right, and then there's a number 2. A second decision says, I really am not concerned about really building a team or earning additional income or bonuses or anything like that. I just really want to focus on expanding my cash flow, getting my finances better, with better tax management strategies, better credit management, debt elimination, and wealth strategies. You're number 2. Then there's a number 1. Person makes that decision, says, hey, I want in. I want to be able to expand my cash flow, and I also want to position myself to earn daily income. I want to take advantage of the tax minimization strategies by having a home-based business. And I want to be able to use that platform and leverage it to be able to earn extra income. So just get back with the person who invited you and let them know if you're 3, meaning I'm good. If you're number 2, I only want the membership. Remember, the membership is $79 a month. It's not tax deductible because you don't have a business. So, but again, it's $79 a month. Or if you're number 1 that says, yeah, I'm all in. I want to be able to expand my cash flow and increase my income. That's the one-time $228 and $119 a month, which we work with you to help your business get self-funded within the first 30 days. So again, man, look, Redale, man, thanks again for putting this together. We'll be in touch. If no other questions, Felicia, if you want to get back with Redale, if you have any questions, or Redale, if you got any other questions for me, did I cover everything, Redale, that you needed me to cover tonight?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And
Okay.
Appreciate everything. And Felicia just sent a message in the chat. She was asking if you could send a slideshow to her for reference.
Okay, Okay. I tell you, it's a big file. What if I do this?
Yeah.
The slideshow is a big file. What
Gotcha.
I do, because I recorded this, is I can send you the recording so you can go back and play it back.
Okay.
You can stop and start and jot down any
Yeah.
questions that you have. And then we'll
That's better.
Yep. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I'll do that. It'll take me a minute. I'll convert it over, save it to my YouTube channel and all that. Send it to you.
Cool.
Cool deal. All right. Look, anything else, man? Again, man, Riedel, hey, looking forward to collaboration. We got a lot of work, a lot of people to help. So, man, great job on the opener. Teresa, thanks again, as always, for your support. Y'all got my number. Got any questions? Y'all need any help, any assistance? Let me know how I can help you. Until next time, y'all have a great evening, and we'll be talking soon.
All right, have a great night,
All right,
everybody.
everybody have a good one. All
Thanks.
right.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.